Let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, I'm going to give you my No Nut November recap, how to naturally raise your testosterone, your human growth hormone, and how to make your penis bigger. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. Alright, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, give me that Arthur Fonzarelli thumbs up like so I go, hey, and of course, follow me on my social media. And don't forget to ring the bell, because I'm putting content out daily. Yo, I didn't hear no bell. You know me, I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat, I'm YOUNGDAYGO. And that's right, in this video, I'm going to give you my recap on, my No Nut November experience, because we're all about here in the BCC, the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective, where I help you manifest a bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder penis, help you naturally raise that HGH, your testosterone. I'm a spiritual guide and a mentor. I'm here to expand your mind and increase your size. And without further ado, I'm here to tell you about my experience. And, it was a beautiful one, nonetheless. And before we even get this started, go ahead and just do this with me. You know how I do. Before I take my first steps out of that bed in the morning, I gotta take that breath. Go ahead and do this with me. I got a shot today. Go ahead and say that. I feel beautiful. I feel magic. I feel divine. And that's what we got to go with, man. You guys, gratitude's the attitude. That's how we got to start off every day. And of course, why not share that matrix hack that I love to say? You know what I got to do? Anytime that I see somebody that's staring across from me in the room, hear somebody on the phone, if I see somebody on the TV, anybody that comes into my mind, I always got to just go with this instead of thinking anything negative, positive, just even neutral. Just intend on that person to have a beautiful day, feel love in some kind of way, and go along your day. It's a beautiful thing. And yeah, man, I'll tell you, this whole experience has been, crazy, and been having really vivid dreams. And you know how I do, you know me. When I go to sleep at night, I'm a sleep sorcerer. I'm dripping that DMT Joe Rogan, and I ain't got to snort for it, jab a vein for it. All I got to do is sleep, and I'm battling it out in the Astral Realms. And last night I had a crazy dream. And it had to do with, I had powers like Raiden from Mortal Kombat, like the lightning bolts. And I'm on a plane. And you know me, like I'm always here to get you smiling, because you know what I got to say, the smile is divine, it's made inside the mind. I like to just take you out of your, zone, to let you go into the flow, to grow. And what we're going with right here is my dream I had last night, and it was pretty lit, man. I was like I said, I was like Raiden. And we were on an airplane, and we were going to Japan, is what it felt like. And of course, you'd have powers like Raiden if you're going to Japan, right? And anyways, like the plane was getting pulled out into the ocean by like a boat or a jet ski. Mind you, this was like a commercial airline, and like I don't know why it was getting pulled out into the ocean, but be as it may, it was getting pulled out, and then getting ready to launch up. And I have powers like I'm like a sorcerer or something in this dream. And I remember just transporting out of the plane and just flying. And I remember when I was flying, like my mentor, for some reason, or at least that's what I was comprehending, told me that you got to act like you're swimming, so just pretend that you're swimming in the sky, and that's how you fly. And that's what I was going with. So I was, I'm flying around. I got off the plane, and I think my brother was supposed to get on there or something. And, be as it may, I'm flying around, and I knew I was going to catch the plane again in Japan, or right before it lands or something, because I had to go take care of something. And, this, right? So anyways, I ended up getting back on the plane, at a later time, and this guy that was in my seat, because I remember there was a first class partition, and I remember I was sitting somewhere towards it. And anyways, the guy was in my seat, and he took a shit. I know, he took a crap in my seat. And I go, what? Whoa! I'm like, what's this? I'm like, what's the matter with you? I'm like, why would you do that? I'm like, why would you? And then the pilot gets on the horn, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm sick of all these people shitting on the plane. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you're telling me I got lightning bolts, and I'm just making this guy clean it up with like some Clorox or something. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just use the toilet, you know? Abuse it, me. He cleaned up the plane, and I ended up getting back to what I had to do when I had like, lightning bolt powers. It was pretty beautiful. It was a hell of an experience, because me, usually when I'm dreaming, it usually has to do with my penis, and I'm usually like 1,000 feet tall with that huge piece of meat, swinging at my knees, dropping on my pecs, like that, and I was able to lick it, and that's usually my go-to. But this was a dream that it was beyond my control. I was like something else, and I was like it was a different character, a different version of me, so to speak. But what does that have to do with what I'm talking about here in my No Nut November recap? Well, it has to do with a couple nights before I had another vivid dream where I feel like I had a wet dream. Let's go with that. You know what I mean? And what it was is I was I had this partner, this girl or whatever, and we're having sex, and it felt real. Like I'm pounding her. Like she's like, "Oh my God, take it easy on me." It's whatever. And next thing you know, she's telling me to come in her. I know I'm getting graphic with you, man. What we're about here, man. I gotta tell you what's going on. She's telling me it's too big, slow down, and next thing you know, it's time for me to explode. And I remember she was coated, man. I'm telling you, it was like it kept going. It was like a ridiculous amount. Like I'm talking about, she was covered like a mummy or something in my seat, just sprayed out of me, and it felt like I was ejaculating that long. And I remember, I woke up and my sheets were a mess. Like, I don't know where I was. And like, usually I sleep on my back, and, I'm usually like this. I woke up, I'm like, my sheets are gone, just like crumbled up, and I don't know what was going on. So I'm pretty sure like that was a very vivid wet dream that I had. And that's what happens when you hold your seed for too long, and that's what happens with the No Nut November. Going as long as I did. It was probably around, like I said, I guess at that point it was probably maybe 27, 28 days, maybe a little bit longer, but we'll call it 27, 28. And I had a crazy, ejaculation wet dream. And I haven't had one of those in a while. It was pretty lit, man. I loved it. It was a beautiful experience, because, like I said, do I know the difference? I mean, one dream I'm raiding, another dream I'm spraying a girl like Cabal, I guess, or like Spider-Man, just covering her with my seed from my huge piece of meat. But you know what I'm about here, man. I'm always doing those Tao practices, the path of least resistance, that Wu Wei flow, and I preach this man, Mantak Chi, a lot on this page, and he's a Taoist from China, and he talks about how you should, semen retention, and how everybody's got, in your 20s, you should wait every 2 days, your 30s, like 3 days, 40s, 4, by the time you're in your 60s, it's around once a month. And me, I like the way I look at this is, number one, no two loads are created equal. Unless you are so in touch with your body, like you got to get to another level of understanding your orgasm. Because like in my dream, like that was like a real vivid, long orgasm that I haven't like felt in a while. And it's like, if you have an orgasm like that every night, then you're in touch with what you are. And then if you're doing that, that's where we're talking about, wanting to charge your seed and charge your chi, because chi is energy. And another thing that he always talks about, that his Tao master taught him, is if you come with energy, you can do no wrong. So you go ahead and write that down. That's a Mantak Chi quote. It's one that I really believe in. And if you come with energy, you're doing no wrong. But I always got to kick it up a notch. If you come with love and energy, you're definitely doing something beautiful. So anyways, we're going with that Tao practice and semen retention. And people might look at it like, well, why would you want to wait this long? And I need to come ejaculate whatever every day. And this is really something to just kind of get out of your own way. If you're utilizing your seed as a drug, that's where we gotta figure out what we're doing here. Like, if you're just using it to get high, then that's no way to get by. That's where it's going to take a toll on your body. And that's what a lot of people do, and that's why that whole no-fap movement where people choose not to look at pornography, and they feel like a better person for it, because it helps them out, and it sexual transmutation, I guess, is the proper terminology for this. And people like, I guess it's Novo Goddard or something, where they talk about using that energy and putting it into your business and other things. Like I think Mickey said it, women weaken legs. Because me, I gotta give you a quick Rocky analogy. You're gonna crap thunder. You're gonna be an Italian tank kid. You're gonna crap thunder and shit lightning, and maybe that was why my dream had to do with when I was raiding. I don't know. Me, it was Thanksgiving, and I always gotta watch. To you it's Thanksgiving, to me it's just Thursday. I was watching a lot of Rocky, so maybe that correlates into my dreams. Who knows? But me, I got in that dream dictionary, and it's all good, positive vibes and beautiful information to help me on my journey towards my manifestation, which I'm seeing come to light, and I'm here to help you with your manifestation. And ain't that a delight? So what I'm saying today is, with the whole Montauk Chi and the semen retention, it's all about reading your body, you know what I mean? And like I said, sex is felt beyond the body. Like I said, you got that heart right there, third eye right there. We're talking about the chakras. We're talking about the throat, the sacral. I think there's a few others in there, but you know what I mean. If you really want to get into that whole, belief system, it's as real as, nothing's real unless you believe in yourself. Another quick one, but like I say, the chakra system is felt beyond the body. And, when you're talking about being in the astral realms and being in another body, like, people with all these different kinds of beliefs, like, they like to think that we're going to be out of a body in our next experience. I say to each our own. I'm like, what's to say that this isn't, if people can fathom that this is a matrix, then what's to say that you're not going to have a body in another matrix? Like, you know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that anyone is right or wrong. Is there Jesus Christ? Is there aliens? I'll entertain everything with you all day just to keep you smiling, keep you flowing. And that's what I do to keep you growing. And I'm here to just do some things that, keep you on your toes, and just, like I say, anything that can keep this clear, man. Because you know what I gotta say, man. If you want beauty to appear, you gotta keep this clear, man. And getting yourself out of the mundane, day-to-day grind of, you gotta go do this, I gotta do that, and I gotta go, everything becomes robotic, which is why I always share this matrix hack. You gotta do something different. Like I say, go take a dump in the yard. And I know that sounds crazy and weird or whatever, but the point being, and like I said, not everybody's got the means to do this. We all don't live in the woods or whatever, where you can have the possibility to do it. You might have neighbors or something, but like I said, just do something different today. Maybe if you got to go, just when you're doing something that you normally wouldn't do, it takes you out of your, your everyday grind, and that's what puts you on a different path to let more beautiful things come into your life. And I know that might sound weird, like, well, how does that have to do with anything? And you'd be surprised, man. All I gotta say is just try it. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain, and it's very simple. Take a different way home from work. Do something that you might not have done, and that is something that's going to pay you back tremendously. And that's what we're about here, man. So we're talking about semen retention, the no-fap movement. I don't believe in no fap. For one thing, the words, like, they really, like, it really got to me. I'm like, what? I don't understand the words, and I get just to get, like, if anybody's with me on this, like, it doesn't sound like fap when you're jerking off or whatever. I don't know what that comes from. To me, I always thought it meant fine ass pussy. And that's just, at least me. Maybe I thought into it a little bit harder than I needed to or something, and maybe, whatever. But we know that the no fap means the no jerk movement. And when we're talking about that, I'd say it's a good motion to be in if you're just blowing a load every time you got to touch what's going on down there. And I totally understand that, because some people don't have the power, much like an alcoholic, can't just have one drink. They got to go all the way to the end. And me, I have the discipline. You got to discipline your image, kid. And that's I don't know why Napoleon Dynamite came to my head. Take a look at these pants. Think anybody wants a roundhouse kick to the side of the face when I'm wearing these bad boys? Didn't think so. Now, if you sign up for my 8-week program, I don't know why I had to do that, man. But like I said, if I'm getting you smiling, you know I'm doing something right. And I like to take different directions. It's to keep you thinking and keep you knowing that we are magic, we are divine. We can increase our size. I'm going to keep you growing and keep you flowing. And when we're talking about this whole no-fap motion, I'd say that if you're, in control enough, this is going to be something that's going to benefit you tremendously. It's going to be a beautiful thing because you're not wasting your seed as a drug. And that's what this whole the sexual transmutation, all this really comes down to, is people that are wasting their time jerking off all day instead of increasing their size, because you can utilize the masturbation as exercise. And like I say, with exercise comes extra size. And you know what, since I'm getting them flexed up and getting them pumped up, I'm going to show you what Paramahansa Yogananda likes to talk about: the mind-muscle connection. It has nothing to do with how much weight you can lift. It has nothing to do with anything other than putting your mind into the muscle, having them snake out, having them just get pumped up, having you understand that every time that you lift a weight, anytime that you got to squeeze that last set out, you go ahead and you say this with me: I am magic, I am divine, and I can increase my size. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. We're talking about the No Nut November recap. We're talking about Paramahansa Yogananda. Steve Jobs read the book. Talking to Steve Jobs right now. How you doing? The autobiography of a yogi talks about how we really are magic and beautiful things can happen. And I'm just feeling myself just expanding and growing and just flowing, man. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it, man. Yeah. So with that, me, I gotta take a quick swig and say salute, because I'm not running out of my, my breath and all that. So salute. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. Look at me, naked in a chair, and I could break a sweat just like that, man. I'm talking about mind-muscle connection. That's what helps you grow. All the other stuff is a collective belief to help you achieve. Something I like to say on a day-to-day when I'm in a situation, like, what collective belief can help me achieve? And these are just things that people are just, doing unbeknownst to you. Everybody's following collective belief for pretty much everything that you do. A lot of diets and fitness programs, they all have to do with, collective beliefs, man. And there we go. Get that do looking right, man. Get that flow going. Before I go, look at that, like Alanis Morissette. Thank you, Randy. Thank you. I don't know, man. I'm not going to be singing that. But it is a good thing to be saying thank you, man. Because gratitude's the attitude. You know that. So, anyways, what we're going with in this flow is the mind-muscle connection. How important it is that you can utilize other people's beliefs to help you achieve, like as far as diet and fitness. And that's why, like I always say, like, whether you're a vegetarian, whether you're going into being a carnivore and doing all this holistic rabbit hole type stuff, you get really lost into it. And especially if you listen to like Alex Jones or something. He's talking about the fluoride and the barium and aspartame. He's like, yeah, go ahead and just drink that fluoride. You got, and they'll tell you, he'll probably try to tell you, you got to take vitamin R, military grade iodine, and he's just telling you all this other stuff. And it's just like, where are we at? Like I say, man, people can entertain this all they want, that this is a matrix. But yet there's collective beliefs that will say that if you eat this type of meat, you're going to feel like that. And if you take this type of fluoride, it's going to do that. You're looking at a guy that, supposedly there's fluoride in everything. And I'm having pretty lit dreams, wet dreams, astral realm, astral projection, all that stuff. Has nothing to do with getting these crystals and putting them in your room. It all has to do with keeping this clear. So pretty much all that stuff you're doing is like a sacrament to the divine. And I'm telling you that the divine's inside. And that's one of my main inclinations and notions here, is to tap into that. Tap into the Hercules, tap into Priapus, tap into the gods that already exist and bring them to life. Because whether you're taking, the science approach, which I don't disagree with science, but I don't disagree with magic. And they're one and the same if you look at it from the level playing field of, One is just more proven with a group of people. But if you're in the group where the magic is real, the magic is here. And that's all about keeping it clear, man. So I'm not like, like I said, man, all truths are true. You just got to find the ones that make you. And that's what I go with, man. That's what we grow with. And when we're talking about, this whole No Nut November, like, what it did to me and what I got out of all this, it's pretty much what I already knew. And, what I'm just here to do for you guys is just be your, be the guinea pig, so to speak, because I'm passionate about my penis. I'm a cock scientist, and I'm here to, like, give you some, more valid information for your big penis manifestation. And, I'm here for you, man. You get at me in the BCC. I'm here to put stuff together for you and, help you truly manifest the best. And there's so many different techniques and ways to do this, man, that there's no wrong way. There's only your way. And whatever you're doing, I'm here to help guide you and shape it into the best you that you can be. And, like I said, man, I can keep rambling like a monkey in a tree. Forrest Gump analogy. But, like I said, man, what we're going with is this whole no-fap motion. The whole thing is pretty much what I always talk about. And, semen retention, no fap to me, use it or lose it. Like I say, man, masturbation for manifestation, and with exercise comes extra size. Do you need to wait 30 days? Absolutely not. It all has to do with what you do with your, how in control of your load that you are. And the more in touch you get with your body, the better off you're going to be. But I'm talking like to have that earthquake and body shake and just bam of an explosion every time. That would be where you would have to charge. You'd have to wait the 4 days to charge your chi. And I don't feel that too many people are in touch with their body enough to do that. So I don't think you need to wait 4 days, but I feel that, between loads, you should wait every couple days. And if you have a day where you're blowing multiple loads, because it's like, dude, like, who says we just got to blow one load in a day, man? Who's writing these rules, all right? Because you, like I said, man, you're your own collective belief, too. And I feel there's some days that you want to blow multiple loads. And, the thing that I know about being with the semen retention, you can blow multiple loads and continuously stay hard. And that's a beautiful thing. That really puts you into that divine power of having that, supercharged penis. And that's really what we want. That's what we intend on having. That's what we create. And, you don't have to take any Cialis or Viagra. And it's able to just keep that thing just throbbing hard. And you're able to blow a huge load and keep that thing going. You know what I mean? Maybe, and then like there's sometimes where you might be able to come down to here, but then just to catch it back, you're doing something beautiful. And this is going to be something else that I'm going to be going into more details in my other videos and more in the future. But when we're talking about charging your chi, a lot of people don't tell you that, you can blow your load, and then, if you come down to like where you're not, like you're maybe like 80% hard, and you could stay with air for a little bit and then get it back to that 100% mark. After you blew a load, if you're able to come back to here, I'd say you canceled out your whole explosion, and you could wait, you just recharged your chi. And instead of like, you exploded it, right? You exploded it, and then you brought it back, and you did another like 20-minute session where you got it pumped up, and then you walk away. I'd say that would be, like a complete flush on, like a wash on your pretty much on your ejaculation. It's just like, okay, you ejaculated today, but you also pumped it back up afterwards. And I find that is the practice where people should be at. That should be something you should aim to do. So this way, you don't have to go without not ejaculating, because, to really get in touch with the whole, healing orgasm, as Montauk likes to preach, we're talking about, utilizing that, and he could put it into his organs, his lungs, and, me, I put it into my muscles, I put it into the hair, I put it where I need it to go, and I need it to flow, to grow, and that's what I'm going with. So, like I said, with that, we're talking about pretty much just getting in touch with your body, understanding that no two orgasms are created equal, And always you're able to charge your chi even after you ejaculate, and it's just better off just, you know, wait every couple days is really what it all comes down to. If you're somebody that's like, you know, you ejaculate every day, you're going to notice a huge benefit if you wait 2-3 days. And then you're going to notice an even more benefit is after you ejaculate, you charge it back up, and then you step away. And that's all I got to say today. It's a beautiful way that we're going to close this and we're going to grow with it, because you know me, putting content out daily. And of course I got to give you the, you know, it's December now, so you know, Salvation Army, you put the change in the bucket, the red kettle, whatever they call it, ring the bell. I know if you made it this far, you already did, but it just feels good to say. Tell some friends, and of course, get at me on my social media and the BCC. Probably going to be putting out my list here, my Christmas list, if anybody wants to give me a gift, you know what I mean? And that would be greatly appreciated. It'll be, you know, the list will be linked up probably right away in my information or whatever. But regardless, you know, I'm here for you. If you guys want to get at me for any more, you know, one-on-one details, and, you know, putting something together for you, I'm here for you. So with that, you know, and like I said, you know, my cat, she's taking care of the neighborhood, my wolf and my bear. And with that, man, I just intend on you guys to spread that love today. Go out there and do something beautiful. Do something for yourself. Watch something on Netflix, something that makes you smile. And set the intention that whatever you're doing something for the universe. You can do no wrong. Go out there and spread that love, man. I love you guys. I believe in you guys. You guys got it. You guys are beautiful. Spread that love as you go, and that's how we grow. I got plenty more beautiful experiences to come. I'll be seeing you around. Thank you so much. Peace. Love you guys.